nearly a year and a half now.
Year and a half, 2 years now, yeah.
And he's been wanting to do an interview because his situation of homelessness and how he feels he's been. Well, I'm going to let Peter tell the story.
My name is Peter Maughan. I'm 36. I've been homeless now for about 20 odd years. And I feel like I'm being prejudiced because I'm from the travelling community.
So, Peter, how is it that you're homeless so long, bro?
Because I find myself it's prejudiced of being from the travelling community. When you go and view properties and they find out you're a traveller,
right?
It's like you're being shoved off. They'll get back to you, and then you ring up a couple of days after, the place is gone.
But this is going on 20 years.
It's been going on 20 years, yeah.
For a 36-year-old man, that's most of since you're a child.
Since I was 14, 15.
And are you telling me you've never been able to get accommodation?
Not here in Dublin.
Okay.
That's the problem. Up here, again, because of the travelling disorder name, that's the reason why. But down the country, it's not so bad.
And is it only down to that?
I feel like it is, yeah. And then, again, it's with the HAP as well, trying to get HAP.
Okay, so what is your basic situation?
I'm in hostels, hostel to hostel. I could be in one hostel one day, and then you may get told, oh, you have to leave. You're for standing up for yourself. If someone calls you the N-word, you'll stand up for yourself, and then you're moved from one place to another place, to another place, to another place.
Right, bro. And this has been your experience going on years now?
Since I was 14, 15, yeah.
And aren't there any associations for the travelling community that are supposed to help you with these kind of
You have,
situations?
Exchange House, and you have Pavy Point.
Okay.
They're supposed to help you. In my opinion, they shove you off.
Why do you feel that, Peter?
It's a bit hard because being born a traveller, being brought up in the care system, back in 86, born in Cork, travelled around till the age of 5. Me and my siblings were taken away. We lived in a family which, I'm not going to get into it, but then I lived in so many homes. I lived in 24 homes, foster homes, 22 hotels and b&bs on the street.
So you've been brought up in the system? In the system,
yeah. And then I was sent away at a day after my 16th birthday, I was sent over to England.
To who?
They sent me over to PIC Children's Services. They had no place over here.
Oh my goodness, really? And that was in, when was this? This was in the early 2000s?
Early 2000s, yeah. Sent by a certain judge in the family law courts.
Oh dear, yeah, this is very complicated.
Yeah.
So what's your situation right now? You came back to Dublin, obviously.
I came back when I was 17. I came back because my mother, God bless her soul, she wasn't well. So then I came back, just spent time with my mother before, because I knew something wasn't right, and then she passed away when I was 17.
Right.
When I came back, I was put into a hostel called Santa Maria Homeless Shelter. At the age of 17, even though I was still in the care system, and that's where everything, I was in what's called hostels from then.
Since you're 17?
Since came back 17.
Have you never had any mentor in your life showing you the way, or
no?
Any uncle or any?
No, because I come from a broken home.
I understand. And has any counsellor taken you under his wing, or?
No.
Has there been nobody reached out to try and put some structure for your life in place?
No, that's the thing.
You must feel like really lost and forgotten.
I feel lost and forgotten. It's like I feel like I'm just a number. You're just a passenger on a train just going through on your own. If that makes sense.
Bro, do you have any addiction issues?
No, don't smoke, don't do drugs. I drink once in a blue moon, special occasions. I could drink, say if there was a wedding coming up, I'd have a drink. And then I'd leave it till a christening, a funeral, and that's the way it is with me.
I get you. What about work? Do you do any work?
I have been trying to get work, but even trying to get courses because I left school at the age of 12. But even trying to get the work, if you're in one hostel, say if you're on the south side in one hostel, and then they move you to the north side to another hostel,
right,
then you'd lose the job because you'd be losing out on a few days work, even though you started.
I see.
Don't get me wrong, I have applied for my security licence, But again, we have to wait because there's a term coming up now in I think it's June.
Now, Peter, I'm not being cynical here. I've got to be devil's advocate. We're talking about 20 years here, bro. You're a man that doesn't have addictive issues. I understand coming from the sort of broken past, but in those 20 years, I mean, you're how old are you, brother? You're 35?
36.
36.
Yeah.
So, you've had a good 20 years since 15, say.
Yeah.
Have you been able to sort anything out in the way of a kind of
I left Dublin after my mother's death. I went from here to Belfast for a job, fundraising. I moved places.
You kept moving, it seems like. But you want to settle, obviously.
I want to settle because I'm not getting any younger.
Now, I believe you've got kids.
I have 2 kids.
Where are they?
One's in Donegal.
Yes.
Which, if I could get back to Donegal, I'd move away with Harpy. And then one's in Mullingar.
Okay. Bro, do you have any support services here?
No.
You seem like a man really on your own, you know.
I've been really on my own since I was a child. Since they grown up in the care system.
And unfortunately, what's the situation with your children, bro? Do you get to see them?
I speak to my daughter, she's in college. She's 18.
Okay.
So I see her on the weekends. And my little fella, he's 15. So, and then I go travel back and forth to Donegal as often as I can. And then I have phone contact with them every day and video chats at night.
Now, what's unusual about your situation, and what I'm aware of, Peter, is you actually have the money to rent a place.
I have the deposit. I have the deposit there safe in the credit union. It's there. I put whatever I can a bit extra every week, every month, just to
savings. To rent somewhere, is there? Is a couple of grand? 'Cause that's what you're looking at, bro.
I'm trying to get out. If I could, look, I have a few places in Dublin. But then a few places like down the country, different places all around.
But you have a couple of grand deposit there.
There is, the money's there, it's safe, it won't be touched, it's all specifically there.
What is the problem?
It's the traveller. Okay. Once they hear you're a traveller, once they hear your surname, and then it's the HAP.
Okay, so you've got a double whammy. You've got, first of all, to introduce yourself, and people will know probably you're a traveller from the accent, the name, the accent. Then you think that's one strike against you. The next strike is if you do manage to find someone that doesn't mind that you're a traveller, then you ask them about the HAP.
And that's when they say, they say to you, we'll get back to you. We have to get in touch with the owner, we have to get in touch with the property, the manager, the estate.
It would be fair to say you think there's a big reluctance to rent a place to somebody who's a traveller?
Yeah. My experience, yes.
In your experience. What about travellers that have houses? Because there are quite a few.
There are a lot, but again, a lot of travellers I know, like saying family members of mine, like cousins that are in England and so on, they have the family support there.
So, Peter, what about your family? I'm aware that travellers, you guys are very close with cousins, aunts, uncles. These are very clannish.
It's supposed to be that way, but it was like years ago. You're going back 40, 50 years ago. Family meant family. You stick together. But in my circumstances, most of my mother's side are passed away.
Right.
And the McDonough side of the family, there's only certain amounts of the family here left in Ireland. Most of them are in England or locked up.
Okay, so there was a lot of issues within the family.
Yeah.
And it's really left you like alone in the world in a sense.
It has, yeah.
And what happened with the relationships with the children's mothers?
I was a young dad. I was a very, very young dad when my daughter was born, and then things didn't really work out, But I've always been there for my daughter. She's always there's a trust fund. She's going to college. I'm proud of her. And my little fella, my son, I brought him up, and then she took him away. I had raised him on my own for I think it was 8.5 years. Well, she ran off with someone else, and then she took him.
There's a whole story.
Yeah, there's a big. I don't really want to get into it. That's already put.
Have you any friends within the travelling community, Peter?
I have one or two, but you wouldn't really classify them as friends. They come to you when they want something, they need something.
So you're not in a position to be giving people anything when you're
exactly.
Yourself out.
And then people don't want to know you. If people love you when you have something to give, but when you don't have anything to give, they don't know you.
Do you feel that about it, bro? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel you've been let down? by the system or by the family?
I've been let down by my family, and I've been majorly let down by the Irish system.
Let me ask you, brother, what would you need to get your feet on the ground? What would you need?
A home.
And you've been battling very hard to get a home, haven't you?
And
Tell us a little bit about that fight if you can.
I have gone here. I've gone some in properties here in the Dublin. Again, once it comes to your surname, it comes to HAP.
So that's rejection by landlords.
The landlord, yeah.
What about the system getting you into a corporation place, something like
You
that?
could be, cause my daughter is 18 now, and cause my son is with his mother in the Donegal area.
Right.
And I'm a single male. I could be waiting for 20, 30, so many years. I have looked into it.
Are you on the list?
I am on the list, yeah.
Yeah. Because you were saying there to me, because your daughter's 18 now, but she's only 18 now. What was happening the other 18 years?
She was with her mother.
And what were you doing?
I was travelling back and forth, and then I was in the hostels. And then when I was in
This is 18 years, bro. What's been going on? You're not a drinker.
I've been in Donegal. When I was living up in the Donegal, it was so. You know what I mean? I was rearing my son on my own. You know, for his first 8.5 years.
Yeah.
I was there when he was crying, when he was sick. It was me always there. But then I had a place up there, but the place I had was pure dampness. There was a terror of the whole estate. Nothing was done, simple. And then came back.
What do you feel needs to be done in a practical way, you know, in general for this problem? Because
the thing is, for the homelessness, there needs to be more support for the homeless people. One, more and more housing accepted for the HAP. And equal rights for whether you're a traveller, whether you're a traveller or a country person. It doesn't make any difference. You can never judge a book by its cover.
And you would be happy with a little bed sit even, would you?
A bed sit, as long as I have my key, go in. I miss making my own homemade stew, lasagnas, homemade stuff, because I've had to all my life look after myself.
Yeah. And at the moment you're sort of in the care of which hostel are you in?
I'm in Carmen Hall.
How is it there now?
I've only been there 2 days now. It's so. I keep to myself.
Yeah, tell us why that is.
I was in a hostel on Amen Street.
Right.
There was a worker there, thought he was all hardy at the age of the night.
Yeah, so don't mind the detail. But
I reacted. He physically pulled me out of the bed.
You got into an altercation.
He pulled me out of the bed and shoved me downstairs and then threw all my clothes out.
Why did he do that as a worker?
Because I stood up to him.
Why? What did he challenge you with?
No, he was because I'm a big fella and because I'm on the top bunk, he was taking the piss and calling me a fat this. Oh, you can't do this. He's bullied other people as well, and there has been a complaint made.
And this is a worker?
The worker in the hostel.
Oh dear.
And then he got all my stuff, threw it out outside the door. And then first of all, physically threw me out. And then threw all my stuff out.
So you've ended up in a new hostel now.
Yeah.
And this is not the first time that's happened, is it, there?
It's not I've been physically forced out, no. Yeah, I apologise. Yeah, that's when staff put their hands on me. Yeah, that's the first time.
This is a regular occurrence, you're saying?
It's because the N-word, I won't stand for it.
You're talking about people calling you a knacker.
Knacker, yeah.
A knacker, which is a slang name for people that don't know, for travellers in Ireland.
It's people that are supposed to be people that picked up dead horses.
Sure. And the reason I make that distinction is, you know what we call the N-word. We have an international audience here, and they might think we're talking about
understandable, yeah.
African American slang. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to make that distinction, and it's terrible that we have to do that.
Yeah, of course, understandable. It has to be done.
We don't offend anybody. We just want to make it clear. And Peter, look, thanks very much for sharing.
No, but much appreciated
and honestly to your story, bro. I can only hope. See, a person like yourself is going to fall through the cracks because you're not linked in with the addiction services because you're not an addict or an alcoholic. Therefore, your situation is it's unique in itself. You've been brought up in the state and you feel discarded by the state, and really on the peripheral of life here, you're just trying to find a place to fit in your own little home.
Yeah.
And you're a very pleasant fellow, man. And
Thanks very much.
I certainly wish you the best, and we all do, in hoping that something changes in this country and the priority for people's living accommodation can
change.
Yes, bro. I hope you don't mind me saying that. Well, we can put this out if you do. But I hope you don't mind me saying. But you recently came to a point where you nearly took your life there.
And yeah, ended my life, because I couldn't take anymore. And being bullied, being picked on, because just couldn't take it.
Well, bro, look, we certainly wish you the best, and we check in again with you.
Perfect.
And we see how it happens.
Perfect. That's what me.
And hopefully, there's a landlord out there to give Peter. He's a nice chap. And give him. He's got the money for the rent and the deposit, the whole lot.
Everything's in the credit union safe.
And let's start to do something positive and make a change in people's lives. So we're only passing through here, folks. KoldTurkey from KoldTurkey, the Piermont and Stephen's Green.